I think after a year, we've had time to really think about it. And my feeling through all of it is it's not breaking news that Saudi Arabia is brutal. The breaking news for me is the way that the West has or hasn't acted since then. So I think what we're left with is a real feeling of that if the Western democracies aren't going to stand up for journalists in this such abhorrent way that Jamal was killed, then we have nobody to look to for help other than each other.
Jamal, of his immense, stature and influence as a human being, we think that it is important to celebrate his work and to encourage others to follow in his footsteps.
Of course, the planned assassination of Jamal Khashoggi was a state crime of the most grotesque and ghastly event.
I think the message is that people in Britain have not forgotten Khashoggi's terrible death. Many of us, while thinking, of course, primarily of him, we're also thinking that the Saudi-led campaign in Yemen has killed 100,000 people. And the impact of this on everybody who does any thinking is so shocking. And the fact that the British government is complicit in this, we are selling arms to them, hand over fist. And this is outrageous.
The international community, that's us, should continue to press their governments to fulfill their own obligations to hold Saudi Arabia accountable and to honor Jamal's memory with memorials like the one we have today, events and scholarships in his name.
It obviously elicited global shock and outrage in every corner of the world and continues. The Saudi government has been its own worst enemy in putting out lies about how it carried out the murder and being forced to change its story multiple times, all the way to this week when the Crown Prince had no choice but to finally accept responsibility for this murder.
It is important that we hold events like these to send a message to people in the region that the attempts to silence the media and to silence advocates for human rights will fail. And this is proof that their efforts will fail. Even if they assassinate the messengers, the message will continue to live.
In the end, we have to be the watchdog. We journalists have to be looking out for each other, because I don't trust the democracies of this world to do it for us. First they came for the journalists. We've no idea what happened after that. Thank you.